Alright, hello everyone and welcome to the channel, back again with another video. Guys, it seems only yesterday that I was talking about the Silent Thunder April Fool's event from a few years ago, and I was wondering if Gaijin was going to do anything with what seemed like a pretty flushed out game mode. I mean, the submarine mechanics were really nice, it seemed really refined, and it was modern submarines and everything, but it was really good looking. Well, wonder no more. So, if you're a submarine fan and you're looking for something to give you Greyhound vibes, excellent movie by the way with Tom Hanks if you hadn't seen that, and you want some Fletcher class destroyer action or some U-boat action, this event has you covered. So what's the scenario you're jumping into? So as Gaijin puts it, it's two teams of players against each other in asymmetrical ship versus submarine combat. So let's jump into the gameplay mechanics of this because I'm pretty excited actually playing this event. I usually am not that excited about the events, but this one I really love. So the core gameplay is pretty simple and straightforward, but don't let that lull you into a sense of it's going to be boring because this is not. So as a captain of a German Type 7 U-boat, your mission is to sink Allied cargo vessels. Your submarine has everything you need. You have torpedoes, you have mines, and you even have deck guns should you want to conduct a surface raid. The sub that you have is fairly maneuverable, it's fast enough, and the controls are very intuitive. It was complicated, but not complex, if you get what I'm saying. You could just jump right in and do it, but it seemed pretty realistic in how a submarine would actually move through the water and how you would control it. So if this is how Gaijin is going to implement World War II submarines, I'm all on board for this, pun intended. I really like how this gameplay goes. It really stands out to me. This is a far better execution, if I had to make a comparison, than World of Warships, the submarines there. Alright, so let's jump back into the mechanics here. I've been talking about the submarine team. So if you choose the other team, which is the US, which is the surface side, you can either choose the USS Fletcher or the USS Tacoma. If you spawn enough points, well, if you get enough points, you can spawn the Catalina, which is the aircraft. So the ship controls are nothing new. If you've been playing Naval already, it's pretty standard and you should be pretty familiar with that. But the new thing here that's really got me excited is the hydrophone and active sonar mechanics and how you detect the submarines. And the really compelling part is how you put all that together and how you use your anti-submarine suite of weapons to kill enemy subs. It plays extremely well in my opinion, and I found myself totally immersed in hunting down enemy submarines. I mean, I was really invested in it. I really wanted to get those suckers. I really like dropping depth charges on enemy subs and then watching them explode from the surface is just pretty awesome. So I think Gaijin may have created inadvertently a new genre in the anti-submarine ASMR because the sounds are really amazing here. I mean, just listening to the attention to detail in the sounds is really nice. The graphics of these submarines, while they're underwater and when they're breaking the surface, really makes you feel immersed. I love the periscope view. I love the torpedo aiming mechanics. With enough practice, it's very easy and you can reliably get hits. You just need to practice with it a bit. The spotted submarine mechanics that I already talked about a little bit play very well. I think it seems pretty balanced in this limited event. Of course, if this is going to be something more, they'll refine that a little bit. Like for example, if you're running at flank speed in your U-boat, you're going to be picked up by enemy surface ships. They have their hydrophones and they're going to hear that. So to the graphics again. The graphics are so good. I love the splashing of water on the periscope. And like I said, in details like the cavitation bubbles coming off the propeller really bring home the realism. I say good job there with the attention to detail, Gaijin. Just the carnage that you can see, like the visualization of the carnage is really good here. I mean, you can see enemy ships on fire, enemy ships sinking, above and below the surface. You can pop your periscope up and you can see, like a ship going down nose first, right? You can just see the stern of the ship. My only small complaint from when you destroy enemy submarines is something like I don't see any debris on the surface or any oil slicks or anything like that. But of course, that's something that can come way later. All right, so I want to come back to the sounds again real quick because I forgot this detail. I already talked about how great they were, but some more detail as I played more, it deserves to be highlighted. Like the sounds of the hull creaking and moaning, and then, you hear the depth charges below is pretty good. It gives you the feeling of high stakes. This is going to cost me if I get it wrong. When you go deep to avoid depth charges, you can actually, it may sound corny, but you can actually kind of feel the fear a little bit. You hear the torpedoes whizzing by, the engine noises, and the crew, the sounds of the crew, and you can just kind of gauge the mood. It all, that whole thing adds together and contributes to the atmosphere. Good job there. So let's talk about replay value and longevity. If you've been here before, I love naval warfare. I've been critical of the way Gaijin has implemented naval and War Thunder, and I just made a video a couple weeks ago about it needing a reboot. If you want to check that out, I'll put the link in the description. But yeah, I was highly critical because I didn't think they were meeting their potential. It just seemed like a different version of something like World of Warships. I know I keep using that comparison, but it's the one I'm most familiar with because I used to play that game a lot. And I just thought they could do better, and this is better. And I'm just some random guy on the internet. I know they didn't see my video and were like, oh yeah, we should listen to Alpha Heavy Gamer, but a lot of the vision that I had for what at least submarine warfare in the game could be seems to have been implemented here. I believe submarines are an integral part of naval combat, and for them to have been missing from the game, in my opinion, was a lost opportunity for Gaijin. Back to the Silent Thunder event that they did several years ago, we were like, yeah, that's really good. I like this. And then nothing for a long time, no follow-up at all. So I'm pretty heartened that they've actually done this. The event proves that they can do this. This type of asymmetric naval combat is what I've been looking for, and it's far more interesting and compelling than what's currently in the game, where you have one side of battleships and destroyers versus another side with battleships and destroyers and cruisers, of course, but symmetrical, faced off against each other in attrition combat. That just wasn't working for me. So in conclusion here, if you hadn't guessed it already, I really like this. I want more of this. I would love for this event to be further developed, or heck, even make it a permanent part of the game, as you look to integrate more aspects into the main mode. I think Gaijin has nailed it here, especially with the asymmetric combat angle. They could use this type of gameplay in other aspects and other modes of the game. They're really onto something here. The combination of submarine, ships, and naval aviation all coming together in this mode in a spectacular way proves that Gaijin has at least the tools, right, in the tool shed to give players what they want, especially in a naval mode, right? And I don't want this video to be too long, so if you guys really like this, let me know in the comments. Let me know where Gaijin got it right for you and maybe where they got it wrong. And if you really like this, you really need to get to the forums. You need to speak to Gaijin directly, because you never know. This could be like the Silent Thunder thing, where we get an event that is absolutely good, that nails it, right, for naval warfare fans, for submarine fans, and then nothing for a long period of time again. So if you want something like this to be a more permanent part of the game, you gotta let Gaijin know. All right, guys. Thanks for watching and checking out, for listening to me talk about submarines and naval combat, and I'll see you in a future video. Peace.